you're ready, just like the last caller, we're here for you.
All right, dude. Let you go. Take care. But that was beautifully explained, Hashim and Uthman. Anyone else want to add something to that with regards to mercy, or are we all cool? I'm going to throw you a bone here, Yusuf. Yeah, I'm looking in the back chat right now. Imagine this, right? Imagine this room of a waiting room. Yeah, imagine this waiting room. Rob, Ihsan, spiritual atheist, James Speaker's Corner, and Christian King. Oh my goodness. And then we've got Alexander Timothy, which I feel like I just want to go with Alexander Timothy. I just feel like it, but I want to bring an atheist.
Returning customers.
Bring them all.
Service, Hamza.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go with Ihsan because he's the only one brave enough to have his camera on. And as I said earlier, if your camera's on, you will jump the queue. And Jay Ray, wherever you've gone, come back, please. James Speaker's gone to put his camera on now. Hey, we see playing the game. See, know the rules of the game, play the game. Right. So Ihsan is here. Welcome, Ihsan.
Hi, hello guys.
You're like the flipping emperor. Can you sort your back
Hello.
Okay. I just wanted to ask Uthman.
You turn the echo off.
Ihsan. Are you like in the underground or something?
No, I'm at home.
You sound like an announcement.
Have you become a king recently? Are you an emperor somewhere?
No.
Your voice is echoing.
You got a massive echo on your mic.
Sorry, is that any better?
Yeah, but now it's really
that's
low.
kind of the antithesis of what we wanted. Can you kind of like come in between that?
It went from epic to really.
Okay,
like,
is that any better?
No, you sound like the other
It's
side.
barely audible. Yep.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay, tell you what,
just
I'll try
turn
to
up the
sort that
gain a bit and lose the echo.
Oh, he's gone. All right. He's going to come back.
I think he's going to log in and log out again.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
I must say, James SC is looking very dapper. It looks like he's done his hair and everything ready for the stream, man.
Bro, you're the only one who can see what's going on.
Look at that. He's looking good, man. Wow, man. If you're not married, mate, you're going to have some requests. Anyway, there we go. What's happening, game?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I think Hamza overly complimented you, man.
This was
The hair looked kind of more organized.
I was expecting Brad Pitt or something to jump in here right now.
this is not the James I thought you were talking about, because there's an Indian James that puts on a suit and brushes his hair and comes on. Right?
Oh, no, there's only one James SC.
Thanks, Hamza, for your kind words.
No problem, mate.
Yeah, so I know I'll give an argument, premise by premise, and I have a feeling that maybe Yusuf might want to comment on it, but here it goes. So, number one, Allah is all-knowing and all-powerful. Therefore, he has infallible knowledge of the future, which means he can't possibly be wrong. Number two.
Okay. Well, wait. We have to hear your claim first, and then you can break it down as to why you believe that thing is true. So, what is your? So, start with your conclusion or your claim, and then we'll break that down.
Okay. So, the conclusion of the argument is that free will does not exist in Islam.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. So, what you're saying, because Allah knows the future, and He knows all our actions, therefore we don't have choice in what we do because we can only do what Allah knows we're going to do. Is that right?
Basically, I'd slightly.
I'll let you. Actually, you know what? I'm going to let you break it down. Go on. I'll let you lead up to your big crescendo. Go on.
Okay. Thank you very much. So that was the first premise. Number two. Therefore, at every single point in time, Allah infallibly knows exactly what you will do at that point in time. Number three. Therefore, at every single point in time, there is only one thing you can possibly do, which is the thing that Allah has foreseen, because if you did something different at that point in time, then Allah's knowledge would be fallible. 4, in order to have free will, it must be possible for you to choose between multiple options. Number 5, but we already established in 3 that at every point in time, there is only one thing you can possibly do. So at no point in time is it possible for you to choose between multiple options. And number 6, therefore, free will does not exist in Islam.
Yes, I disagree with. Can you repeat was it the third premise?
Yes, yeah. Number 3 was, therefore, at every point in time, there is only one thing you can possibly do, which is the thing that Allah has foreseen. If he
Right.
did something different at that point in time, then Allah's knowledge would be fallible.
Right. So I disagree with that, because there isn't only the end or the result. So you have a moment in time when the choice arises, and you do have an option between A, B, C, D, ... Continue. And that is a moment distinct from the moment where you make the choice. Now, just because Allah has knowledge of the choice that you've made, that doesn't negate the fact that there was a moment prior to that making of the choice where there were choices available. So it's not true that at any given moment, because Allah is also aware of the moment prior to you making the choice, and he's aware of the fact that you had an option of A, B, C, so on and so forth, and you could have picked any of them. And then he has knowledge of the moment after it where you've made your choice.
Let me.
So that I would disagree with that premise.
Yeah,
hold on,
I'll
James,
throw something
James.
in here. What Dr. Imran said on one of our streams. It doesn't happen because it's written. It's written because it happened.
Okay, can I respond to use or
Okay,
ask for some
hold on.
clarification?
Hold on, James. Let me just ask you a quick question. Do you have kids?
I do not have kids.
I got kids. I got 4 kids, right? So I know my kids pretty well, right? Not as well as Allah knows us, but I do know my kids pretty well. I'm just going to give a human example just to give you understanding of a concept. I know my kids and their decision making. I know my kids and their likes and dislikes. Who likes chocolate ice cream? Who likes vanilla ice cream? Who likes what, right? You feel me, James?
Yeah, sure.
So let's say I take my kid to the ice cream store. Now, I know some of them don't like ice cream and some of them like particular flavors, okay? As knowledgeable as I am of my kids, again, nothing in comparison to the knowledge of Allah upon us, I know my son's going to choose, for example, chocolate ice cream, right? Does that mean that I forced him to choose chocolate ice cream?
No.
Okay. So this was just a human example. You understand?
Right.
So just to understand, this is to do with the knowledge of Allah, not the force of choosing. Do you understand? Allah gives us a choice. We make choices, right? There is free will there. But that is just the greatness of Allah, the knowledge of Allah, the amazing, high status of Allah, that He knows what decisions we'll make, but He doesn't force those upon us. Okay?
Right.
So just like the example I gave you of my son, and I, again, like I'm saying, this is just a worldly example to give you a concept, right? If I take my kids 100% of the time, I know what ice cream they're going to choose because I know their likes and dislikes. That does not mean that I force them to make that choice.
Okay.
Next.
Is it okay if I respond to Uthman first and then maybe get back to Yusuf?
Respond to Yusuf first, and then come back to Uthman.
Okay, sure. That's a good idea. So yeah, for Yusuf, I'd like to get a little bit more clarification because I missed about sort of 5 seconds of cutting out. So the clarification I'd like is so like what do you consider to be a choice? Like what is making a choice? Is it doing the action involved in that choice, or is it just having that brain state thinking, oh, I'd like to do this? What is a choice to you?
So a choice is that you experience a sequence of moments, and in those moments, a particular circumstance arises in your experience in which there are a number of possibilities that you could pick from. And you're cognizant of those possibilities, and you can pick or choose to move in one direction or the other. And then as moments pass, there is a particular moment in which you do pick one of them, and then that is your choice made. But this is included within the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. So it's not like when people make the argument you've made, they generally tend to just focus on the fact that Allah knows of the moments when you've made the decision, but He also knows the moments prior to that where there's a choice available and you've got a decision to make.
So you said that a choice involves there being possibilities. And so like I'd understand that to mean that a possibility has to be possible, i.e. It like that if it were impossible, then it wouldn't be a possibility, is what I'm guessing at.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that that seems to be contradicted by the idea that Allah knows perfectly, exactly, at every single point in time, the single thing that you're inevitably going to do. Because that means there is only one thing that's possible. So there are at no point possibilities. There's only one thing that you can do, and you have to do it. So
this basically ties into a notion of how we would understand time, which I think we don't really have like a decent way of explaining how time like, so for example, does Allah experience all moments simultaneously, or is it simply that his knowledge is able to foresee events that are to come? Like, I don't know enough to be able to comment on what particular version of time we would ascribe to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's a whole sort of different discussion.
If I may just add a bit to what Yusuf said. So we had a discussion on this very topic recently at Speaker's Corner. It was uploaded today, actually, on Dawah Wise channel. So have a look at that. James, it does answer your question. The title is Free Will and Determination, Are They Contradictory? So just to add to what Yusuf was just saying there, so there are four categories of time that we know. Three that we do know already: the past, the present, and the future. And there's a fourth that Allah knows in addition to this, is the potential. Yes, so the potential choice they'll make. Allah knows all the different potential choice a person would make. So it's not like you're saying, James, like one thing and only one thing Allah knows, and that's it. He knows every potential scenario that a person would make a choice with regards to that action that he or she is going to take. So Allah knows every possibility, and knowing something doesn't mean you're forcing someone. For example, Allah has destined that James will come on this live stream, and James knows that he came here with his free will. Did somebody force you, James?
Wow. So no one, put a gun to my head, you could say.
Did you choose to come on?
So would you say you came with your free will?
Well,
Okay, here's the thing, James. Did you choose to come on, and did I choose to let you on?
Well, that depends. Is it possible for you to have done otherwise? Because if not,
okay, I can do that, can't I? And then I can do that again. Is that not my choice?
No, the question was not whether you let him on the live stream. The question was for him to even come to the live stream, whether to come on the panel or not. That's a different issue. He came. The question is, did you come by your free will, or did someone force you?
Well, what do you mean by a choice?
You tell me. Do you know that you came here by force? Did someone compel you to come here, or did you come with your free will?
How do you understand the word choice? Okay, James. How do you understand the word choice?
Somebody else?
So, I think I understand the word choice to mean kind of So I'll give what isn't a choice first, perhaps.
No. Tell us what is a choice.
Okay, that might take me a little bit longer to do. Okay.
Well, you just said, what do you mean by choice? As if like you have a different definition of the word choice, as if like there's more than one understanding.
Yeah, I think there is.
For me, choice is you have options.
Yes,
and you select which option.
Okay, but the options, do you agree, Hamza? They have to be possible for you to choose.
Did you answer that question? Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah, they have to be possibilities, like Yusuf said. Okay, right.
Could I choose to jump onto the moon? No, I can't.
Okay, cool.
Right, so let's get back. Listen. Let's not play semantical games here, James. James. Just one second, James. Let's not play semantical games here. You asked us, this was your words, what do you mean by choice? So that means you have a different understanding of the word choice. No. So I tell you what to do. You tell us how you understand the word choice, and we'll tell you how we understand the word choice, because we might be talking past each other. So how do you understand the word choice?
Yeah, I agree with what you said when you described a choice, provided by option you meant something that's possible. However,
an act of choosing between two or more possibilities. All right, one second.
Okay, cool, yeah.
So let's understand something, James.
Wait. I need
James,
to
just one second, James.
I haven't had the
Let's
opportunity.
just understand something.
Mhm.
Understanding of words is not subjective, right? It's
Sure.
objective.
I mean,
So this is what the word choice means.
like,
Act.
okay.
Just one second, James. Okay, an act of choosing between two or more possibilities. So your possibility flex is there as well. So a choice is choosing between two or more possibilities.
He's frozen.
Give me one moment in time.
Pull him out, Hamza, and put him back in. Pull him out and put him back in.
I think we need to define free will as well, because free will is the freedom to have a choice on how you behave, how you act, and so on. So we need to bring that in as well, because that is the reason I asked him, what did you come here by your free will? That will entail the choice as well.
I think, forgive me, Sheikh, I think what he wanted to say was that he had the appearance of choice, as if to say he didn't have the opportunity to choose because it's already predetermined for him.
But that's the reason I asked him, did he feel that he came here by his free will? You know, if you yourself feel that you came here on your free will as a free agent, then why would you assume that you were compelled to come here? The fact that Allah knows about it does not stop you from coming here, does it?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I had an internet issue. What I was trying to say was that I agree with the sort of intuitive understanding or definition, the normal definition of choice. But the implication of that understanding of choice is that there must be other possibilities, right? If there's only one thing that you can possibly do and you have to do it, then you do not have a choice at all.
Okay.
So, right, yeah, that's fair. James,
let me
James, your haircut. Did you choose that haircut?
Well, that depends on whether it's possible for me to do otherwise.
Okay. Well, could you not have shaved your head?
Well, I couldn't if God has infallibly foreseen that I will.
No, but now you've missed a moment in time where you had that choice too or not.
James,
sorry, that's again.
let me ask you a quick question. Hold on. Let me just this is going to end with this. Okay, watch. James, and I just want you to be honest. Okay, that's the only thing I ask is honesty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Ijaz wants to get a haircut. Okay, his hair looks fine, mashallah. I'm just giving an example, right? So he wants to get a haircut, and he has complete free will. I mean, we're just giving a example here, okay? Meaning he can shave his head, he can get a mohawk, he can get a marine cut, he can get whatever, he can get whatever you call that thing on your head. He can get any haircut he likes, okay? But you, James, have figured out a time machine. That's how intelligent you are. You've got a time machine. And you go into the future and you see what haircut Ijaz got. Okay? It's his choice. He could have made any choice. He could have got a bald head. He could have got, just a big Hindu thingy. He could have got like 2 spikes made in whatever he likes, right? But he makes a decision from his own free will. But you, James, went into the future. You saw the decision he made. Okay. You come back into the past. Now you know what he's going to do. Does that mean he did not have free will?
It does because... And
it does?
Right. For the reason why it does mean that he didn't have free will is because me having, by virtue of that time machine, infallible knowledge of the future makes it impossible for him to have chosen another haircut. It means that there is only one thing he could have done in this respect.
So James, you
just negated the word choice.
James, you don't understand what free will. I'm sorry. Let me just say this because again, you're going down a tangent that really makes no sense. So I'm going to step out of this after this. I'm just saying this. So good.
James is going to step out.
People have choices. People have choices. They're going to choose one. Just because you, through going into a time portal, figured out what they're going to choose doesn't mean they didn't have a choice. That's not what it means. You just have prior knowledge now of whatever choice they, on their own free will,
it just means you know what choice they made.
Exactly. Knowing somebody's choice doesn't mean they didn't have a choice. Allah is more knowledgeable than somebody with a time machine. Conversation over.
So if there is a fixed future by virtue of either a time machine or infallible knowledge of the future, then the fact that the future is fixed means that kind of there's only one thing that people can do possibly for every single point in time. Therefore, no, because every other possibility, every other option, let's say, we won't say possibility because that implies it can actually happen. Every other...
we will say possibility. No. We will say possibility because that's what the definition of the word choice is. Possible options.
There's an issue here as well. So there's two levels of analysis.
I'm going to let James go at this point because I just don't think there's any point in coming back. Go on. Yusuf,
no, it's all right. It's all right.
He's froze again, man.
Sorry. I'm back.
You there?
Yeah, the point is it possible for Allah's knowledge of the future to be incorrect?
No, it's not. But this is the thing. There's two levels of analysis. Now, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is aware of everything. And so in terms of him knowing what you did or what you're going to do, doesn't negate the fact that there were possibilities. The fact that you did have a choice, those things are possible. And because you did make a choice, because regardless of how it looks here, it is... There is I don't know. It just gets a bit convoluted.
I think it's a position you're taking. Is it hard determinism or is it soft determinism? Because in hard determinism, it'll appear like free will is an illusion. But if you're opting or you're positing soft determinism,
do you believe free will is a thing, James? So? Do you believe free will is a thing?
I'm not sure whether it is or not, but I do know that if someone has perfect knowledge exactly of the future, then there can't be free will because we can't.
How does that negate choice? How does that negate choice?
It negates choice because it means that there are no other possibilities that you can do.
But there were possibilities. There were possibilities, and the outcome is the outcome.
Insisting that they were possible implies that it is also possible for what God has foreseen to be different from what actually transpired.
This is what you're missing.
Why is that necessary?
It's possible in that moment. It's possible in that moment. Once it's been done, it's been done. And so, again, I'm going to quote my doctor brother, mashallah. It doesn't happen because it's written. It's written because it happened. And we know this because Allah tells us that we can make dua to change our state of circumstances, which to lower our rizq. It isn't fixed. Yeah, we can affect our present through our decisions, through our choices, through our actions, through our work. Yeah, the point is this: once it's over, it's over. So, for example, once you're dead, and all your decisions have been made, and all your decisions have been seen and have been counted and will be judged against. And as far as we're concerned, we're all dead. Allah's seen our lives from beginning to end. He's seen every decision and choice we've made. Now, if you want to argue there's no free will, then you've got to be able to let all the prisoners out of prison because none of them had a choice in what they did.
Well, I don't think that Islam is true. If Islam were true, then it wouldn't make sense for me to believe.
No. If you don't believe in free will, then you should say prisoners are just victims of circumstance and we should let them out because it's not their fault. They had no choice in what they did. If you're not saying that, then you do believe we have free will.
Well, the reason why that's not quite correct is because even if someone wasn't responsible for what they did and had no choice but to do that thing because they didn't have free will, it would still make sense to lock people up for the safety.
Why would it?
Listen. I said the answer just then. It would make sense for the sake of the safety of the rest of society. Okay.
Why you should treat them as
you're
victims?
still holding them accountable for something that they had no control over.
Yeah, there's nothing there. It's not their fault.
You're right. You should treat them as victims, but you should still lock them up to
So should you punish them?
Society.
Or should you give them an Xbox? Ark Survival.
Well, if it were the case that let's say someone,
that would be.
Okay, here's a good example. Let's say someone is mad, right? And so we consider mad people to be not responsible in the same way as regular sane people.
Okay.
And so if a mad person commits murder, kind of we don't like sort of go, "Oh, you horrible person! How dare you? We're going to do this to punish you." We say, "Well, you know, we appreciate that you weren't in control of yourself and you have diminished responsibility, but we still need to lock you up for the safety of society."
That's fine. That's fine.
Case. Right. So
but that's different, isn't it? Because they've got no accountability.
Exactly,
The mental person is not choosing to do this stuff. So they've got the mental faculty.
Right. And so if it's impossible for any human being to do other than what Allah has foreseen, then every human being, you know, hasn't made a choice either. Because
James,
it's logically that's rubbish.
James,
it's just garbage.
I already ended this with the future.
Honestly,
think,
repeating.
So that was the end. That was it, bro. Look, just because you know something because of your knowledge doesn't mean you force it. This is your misconception. This is your lack of understanding of what it means to have a choice.
I'm going to let you go at this point.
No, Hamza, bring it back. Just
frozen again.
Sorry, could you start again, man?
So I talk of ice cream.
I just have a question, James, right? Because you know how sequential logic works, right? And I have to agree with Yusuf that your third premise does not make sense to me. Because it seems to entail something that isn't explained anywhere else, right? In your third premise, you say, therefore, at every point in time, there is only one thing you can possibly do, which is the thing that Allah has foreseen. If you did something different at that point in time, then Allah's knowledge would be fallible. So at every point in time, there is only one thing you can possibly do, and you have to do that one thing. But again, our point here is that you only do that thing because you've chosen to do it.
Yeah.
This reality, just be clear here, right? This reality that we live in, right, is a reality allowed by Allah, right? So Allah is not forcing my hand to make these statements to you or otherwise, but Allah has allowed me to make those choices. His foreknowledge does not inhibit free will. And this is what I don't understand between premise 3 and premise 4. How does it follow that our choice is as a consequence of God's foreknowledge only?
So let me think about that for just a moment. I'll try and understand your point and do you justice.
While you're thinking, let me just read that thing again. So therefore, at every moment or every point in time, there is only one thing you can possibly do. But that's like I said at the beginning, that's not true.
Yeah.
There is a moment in time where there are multiple possibilities, and then you pick one. And then you say, which is the thing that Allah has foreseen. Allah has foreseen that you had multiple choices, and then you picked one. Okay. That's what Allah sees.
He knows the outcome of every potential choice you'll make.
Jazz, would it be okay if we maybe used a concrete example, like, for instance, buying ice cream tomorrow, something like that? Are you still there, Jazz?
Yeah, before you move to that example, I just want to find out what is your understanding of time here? Because for us, Allah exists outside, as in Allah is not created within time. He has existed before time. Time is a creation in and of itself. So because he exists outside of time and he's the creator of time, this means that we exist within time. So we find out about our choices as we make them in real time, whereas God has already known what those choices would be because he does not exist in time. He's not limited by time. How does that distinction between Allah's experience of time and our experience of time as creation factor into your logic here? Like that's what's bothering me here.
Okay, so it seems, as far as I can see it, I think either possibility or either way of God experiencing time, doesn't make a difference to the rest of the argument. And so in one case, it would be, let's suppose God exists outside of time, and quote unquote before time was even a concept. God still knew exactly every single thing that his creation is, every single thing that's going to happen in his creation. If that's the case, then I think the argument still holds. On the other hand, if God kind of exists in time but still has infallible knowledge of the future, then I think that the argument still holds there as well. So
no, because at this point now, the problem occurs where see, Allah knows our potential choices, but by saying that Allah exists within time, then it would mean He is finding out as it happens. Your concept of God, so let's be clear here. Your understanding of your concept of God seems to assume that He does. Sorry. Your understanding of your own concept of God seems to entail that God can't have all knowledge of all things. And I feel like that is one of the problems. And the second problem from that is you seem to assume that if we have knowledge of our own choices, that Allah should not have knowledge of those choices. And if He does have knowledge of those choices, it means that we could not have made those choices. So the argument in some parts seems to be slightly circular. You have to assume that Allah can't have knowledge in order for us to have knowledge. And if He does have knowledge, that we can't have knowledge. Why do you entail the denial of that claim in the same step that you accepted?
Can you explain to me a little more what knowledge I'm implying that God doesn't have?
Are we going to continue with this, or are we done?
Potential choices. Potential choices. That's it.
I think we're done. I think we're done, James. James, I think you got your answer. Not just you, James. Anyone else watching who had this concept about free will, I think you've heard the explanation from Hashim, from Yusuf, from Uthman, from myself, and Brother Ijaz. James is never going to accept it. We know that.
No, I want to understand Ijaz's position.
We look forward to your nonsense claim.
Ijaz, can we talk about this another time if Hamza doesn't want to? What's your sort of
just email Hamza's then EF Dawa and they'll put you in contact with me.
All right.
Okay. I'm sorry we couldn't.
James,
explore
last very simple thing. Just take this away, okay? You have choices. Allah is just that great that He knows what choices you make, but He doesn't force the choices on you. Done. See ya.
And last one, do you have a mirror in your house? Take care, dude.
What is that? Oh, God.
People make bad choices too.
James need to first find out about God before he finds out about the choices he makes.
This is the problem, is that people try to rationalize God as if they are God, meaning that they're putting God in the same principles and rules of humans. And that's where you have to. And again, I mean, I think anybody honest and open-minded that's watching this stream, and I hope that inshallah, James will also, come to an honest realization. Will say, look, if you could go into the future and see a choice somebody made, that does not mean that you forced them to make that choice. They had a choice. They made a choice. You just were in some kind of great power enough to know their choice after they made it. But Allah is all-knowing.
I got a question for Hamza or Hashim. Is James an atheist or an agnostic? What is his basis for agnostic? Because I feel like he has to imagine a God in his mind to argue from.
He comes to Speaker's Corner. He only argues with the Muslims. I've never seen him ask questions to the Christians. He might even be a, closet Christian or something.
No, but I don't think the Christians can intellectually engage him. So they would just jump to an emotional plane.
No, but the same question about Qadr would apply to Christians as well, right?
And to the
any religion,
or to the materialist. Because the question here,
I've never ever seen him debate any Christians ever.
And there was a really good comment that someone made in the live chat. So this idea that you would put them into prison for the safety of society, that assumes that they would commit the crime again.
Yes.
Right.
But what evidence have you got that they would necessarily?
All right, I'm going to bring this. I got Rob here. But
Hamza, really?
We just need a breather at the moment. We've already had one madness.
All your regulars are in today.
They've got Christian King here. We've got John the Anti-Dower guy. We've got everyone here, man. Sean is here.
Is Christian King related to Christian Princess?
I think he thinks he's better. I think he's more knowledgeable than Christian Princess, if I'm not wrong. Alexander Timothy. That's a very profound sounding name.
Hello.
Hello.
I wanted to ask Uthman something.
Oh,
hey, are you Muslim?
How you doing?
So I saw Uthman's comment regarding the jizya on Twitter with this guy, and you mentioned that the people, if they do, he asked you a question, if the people do not pay the jizya, they should be enslaved. And you replied, you teach this sort of stuff in your lessons. So I wanted to ask,
that's not a correct summary, but let me explain what happened. It's some troll, and I should have
Is
just.
he
not
Muslim
wasted-
though? Is this
Yeah.
guy Muslim? Sorry, Usman. Are you Muslim,
know.
Alexander?
Yes, I am a
Yeah.
Muslim, so I wanted
You
to
are.
clarify and not lie
Good
regarding
man.
Islam.
Good man. Thanks for honesty.
Alexander, no, just bring it back on. Just bring it back on.
Oh, come on. Do we need to keep explaining it?
No, I know
Look,
to
I-
ask,
look,
are you the guy
brother,
from Twitter? Are
yeah.
you the guy from Twitter? Yes or no? Because I know the account.
I know.
Are you?
I know the brother. I know the brother. He's my.
You can
yes.
take him off. You can take him off.
All right. We don't engage with Muslims on this particular
Yeah.
stream.
But maybe Sheikh Othman wants to clarify.
I will make a clarification. So
Yeah,
what
yeah, please
happened
do.
is some dude on Twitter, some troll, I don't know who he is, but made a bunch of comments saying that I don't believe in jihad al-talab, and I've denied that there is jihad al-talab and this kind of things. And what I said is that I have clarified these views and what I believe in the durus. People have misconstrued that by cutting off the top part of the commentary to say that I believe in things that wouldn't be necessarily what I do believe in. What I believe in is clear. I believe in the Quran and Hadith and Bab al-Jihad, including Jihad al-Difa', which is defensive jihad, and Jihad al-Talab, and how the rules and regulations of those work. We have durus, and we're going to have in Zad al-Mustaqni', and which is what I said in the part of the comments that people cut off as well, that if you want to know the details of how that works, watch the lessons. They're online. Everybody can watch them, and you will understand.
See, Sheikh Othman, one of the problems is all you said was, I teach this in my classes, and they think that you teach specific views and you omit others. But they didn't understand that you teach all these views in your
Right.
classes, right?
And the problem is that there's the top part of the chain, which they don't show, which is when the guy was talking about the fact that he thought that I denied jihad, right? And again, jihad is not what they think it to be, right? And I explain those in our durus. And the bottom part of the chain, and I've seen this reposted, and what's that prostate guy, the guy who's the
Red one,
prophet.
anxiety attack guy. Yeah.
Prostate prophet with the F. So that guy used the same thing. I ignore them. I actually block the guy and stuff because it's just a waste of my time to deal with trolls. If you want to know what I believe, it's all online. It's not like I hide my beliefs. My durus, all of them are online. Anybody can read them. That when people make assumptions about me without watching the durus, I always tell them, look, I do believe in what Allah has ordained in all of it. And what is that? Watch the dars, and I will explain how jihad works and how qital works and what is the different types of jihad, and what are the rules of regulations. But they cut all that out because they don't really sincerely want to know the truth. So let them be trolls.
Just to point out something, the Sheikh on Twitter, his account Abu_Qutb, he tweets out the links to join his classes for free and live. So when I saw those chains of tweets, and we were getting tagged, I don't know why, but the point is you misrepresented what the Sheikh said, and the fact that you had to cut and misquote it says that you deal in dishonesty. That was my perception of the comments.
Okay, cool.
100%.
Okay, I'm going to bring Ovadia on because all the others look. Go on.
Can we get
Ovadia.
Rob? Can we get Rob, please? I think Sheikh Othman would love Rob, personally speaking.
I don't know who Rob
let's
is.
deal with Ovadia because Ovadia looks